Hiya, fellas, and welcome to the Sons of Liberty podcast. You know who it is. It's me, King Chow. Season 2, never coming out. Then we got our gorgeous Kaika, a la Leonard Indigenous himself.
I'm a dirty D2 casual, and I do not condone anything King Chow will be saying in the next 5 to 20 seconds.
He thinks he's straight. And then there's Sunny.
Correction, I know.
I'm your host with the most, Sunny here.
Actually, this brings up a good point. So, do you guys know the gay debacle?
Well, gay debacle.
The gay debacle?
Or the queer debacle, right? So, this is the debacle, right? People are gonna say, I know I'm straight, and I will never have any gay relationships, right? Because that's gay, right?
Yeah, cope.
But, at the same time, people who are on the spectrum, they would say, well, how do you know if you're straight if you never had yes.
See, when I think of spectrum, I think of, like, the mental illness spectrum. Like,
no, the autism. Literally the autism spectrum, yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly. God, people who are on the spectrum, no way.
People who are a little queer or a little gay or a little whatever.
If you are gay, it's because you have something wrong with your brain. You have something wrong with your brain.
No.
You should be ashamed of it.
Good. See,
let's give context. Chow over here can say those things, alright? He is permitted to say those things.
You know how like every episode I'm like a ticking time bomb and I'm like this close from just shouting. Just like for June, it's the F word. And no, I don't mean fuck. You know what F word I mean.
I mean fuck.
Yeah, at my school, if you are gay...
that one's fine then. Oh yeah, okay, sure, that one's fine. All right.
At my school, if you're gay, you could say fat, like that
you
actual
can?
word.
Wait,
Yeah.
What?
Like you know how you have in groups, right?
In
gay
groups.
people, they say.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Only gay people can say the F. You know, fat. I need to blur that out, but yeah.
By those rules, I love fat.
Say it. We can barely hear you. Say it.
Wait, you can't hear me? You can't hear me? Hold on.
No, we could definitely.
Let's just crank that up. I love fag.
Okay, let's turn that down now.
Okay.
I understand you're not doing 2 audio recording paths, so. You know.
Oh no, I am not.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to set that up. Actually, it'd be really cool if you could help me set that up. But
I could help you out.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Let's get back to business.
Back to business. And also, I want to formally apologize for my queer bait behavior in the beginning of this episode. It is Pride Month, aka Gay Day. Technically, it's the day after Gay Day because we tried recording yesterday, and my audio channel just kind of blanked. So we're re-recording. But technically, we wrote the script for June 1st. It's June 2nd, but you won't ever know that. For all you know, it's June 1st. And June 1st is Gay Day, so it's Gay Day. All right? Technically, we have, 2 months dedicated to the gay, but, it's a running channel meme.
To the gay.
It's a running channel meme.
To the gay savior, yeah.
Gay Day is June 1st. So that's today. So you know what? That's why I got the profile picture drip.
We just, cut off the gay gene? Come on.
The gay
Whoa.
gene. God.
I don't know about that one. That one seems a little extreme.
Okay, now hear me out, right? All right. Okay, so so gay, right? But instead of cutting out the gay gene, what if we forcefully insert it?
Okay, that is an idea.
So hear me out.
That has zero merit.
So Darwinism,
yeah.
right? But with gay people, but in reverse. So it's survival of the gayest.
What if we just kill all the gays?
So I'm thinking like eugenics, but like for straight people. So
okay, this is the thing with that thing, right? If you have only gay people on the planet, you automatically die.
Exactly.
Because you can't reproduce.
How about
Exactly.
this? We make an exclusive island only for like gay men, and then another island for gay women, and like see what happens.
See what happens in
Yeah,
100 years.
actually,
Yeah, let's see what happens.
I am very okay with that. Actually, I
Yeah.
am.
No, I'm not, but yeah, I
No,
don't condone.
let's just put them all on one island. Well, two islands, technically. But yeah.
Yep.
What is that going to be? Jeffrey Epstein 2.0 islands?
Bro.
I mean, if you think only gay people can be pedophiles legally.
In California.
Okay,
in California.
Sorry. I think what you mean by that is only gay people can get away with being pedophiles.
Nah, they can be pedophiles.
Hey, James Charles is wait, no, he's got canceled.
I mean, you can get canceled, but he's not legally liable.
Not legally canceled. Zoomer words, boys. Zoomer words.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like being canceled is basically worse than being in prison. Like,
yeah.
if you're in prison, right, you're isolated from the rest of society. But then at least, like, you know, you're in a community of other isolated people. Granted, they all like either want to rape you or kill you or both. But I mean, that's just like the price you pay. But when you're canceled, then it's like you're isolated from everyone, even the other isolated people. So you're just like completely alone, and then you either kill yourself or other people in an act of violence. But speaking of which, oh wait, no, that's a different topic.
Oh no.
That will become relevant, but we're not there yet. We're still on Gay Day, or
Gay Day.
You know, post Gay Day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gayest man we know. Actually,
me.
Let's talk about our good old buddy Joe Biden.
What?
I don't know if that constitutes gay, but you know what?
Biden is getting none. Biden is getting none. From either aisle, he's getting none.
Now he has his wife and his
wife.
You think he could get it up? Just curious.
Honestly, I mean, I'm like half convinced.
It's Viagra.
Like,
there is Viagra. But can he do it on his own?
Biden's already like taken like 4 pills a day at least. Like, come on now.
I mean, hey, why not 5? Anyways, let's talk about Joe Biden. Guy could take it away.
This is really weird. This almost kind of reminds me of when like leftists start like, you know, they're like mass hating Trump, and they just start talking about like how they secretly want like to have sex with him or whatever, or like like the fucking AOC being like, you know, all these Republicans secretly want to date me because they disagree with my politics. God.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really weird because like you end up hating someone who disagrees with you politically so much to the point where they live in your head rent free, and then they just like they become your fantasy, and that's just really, really like someone should study that. Someone should study that effect.
Wait, it's Joe Biden.
Psychology. Oh right, Joe Biden. Fuck, totally.
So he had the funny people at the White House, also known as BTS. People?
Bro.
Yes.
Wait, did you say BTS?
Yeah, we stand BTS. We love Suga. We love
BTS.
Jungkook. We love Jimin. We love all the members.
They're so overrated. You don't even understand what their music is saying.
Nah, bro, I know the message.
Alright, what's the message?
The message is we get bitches on our dick.
What bitches? Bro, they straight up have like not even one more year until they go into the military, so you won't even hear their music.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so South Korea, each male has to serve like 2 years, right, in the military once they hit a certain age. So
yeah,
and they're going to the military together. So
wow.
no BTS.
So BTS for 1 more year, and then that's it. All right.
I believe so.
Stay based, South Korea.
Anyways,
a shit
okay.
Pop culture group.
Okay, so here's the thing about BTS. All right.
Yeah.
Of course, you know it's gonna be a little less organized because we had a little bit more of a coherent plot line with this, and a little bit of a cleaner transition the first time we recorded this. But I just want to drive this point home before we get into the nitty gritty that BTS's music is Korean pop music. So, by default, it's already going to be a certain level of shallow. Just like American pop music, just like, you know, pop music by definition is shallow. It's meant to be like lowest common denominator music. That's what makes it popular, right? And the fact that a bunch of Americans and Westerners just so happen to like catch on to it and become like these huge K-pop stans is, I mean, I'd say it's coincidence. It's probably something more like a brain virus, but I guess the point is like that at the end of the day, they are not making deep songs. They are not making like these like, you know, edgy philosophical like deep songs about the meaning of life or whatever, or like speaking on big issues. They're just like meant to look and act cute and you know, sort of maintain the parasocial relationship with their ravenous fans. I want you all watching to keep that in mind when Joe Biden talks to them, because oh boy.
You know what's crazy, Chow? I'm gonna put that clip on Twitter and at BTS Army, and then we are gonna see what happens.
Let's fucking go. Bring it on. Bring it on, bitches. Bring it on.
Army. Hell yeah.
If you are a K-pop stan and you are watching this right now, first of all, I think you got a couple of priorities to work out. But secondly, I just want to mention, all right, I'm not scared of you. We're uncancelable. You can't do it. No, we are invincible.
No.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I challenge every single one of you to try. And bring us down. It ain't gonna work. Because we're sons of liberty.
Famous
and you
words.
Can't silence us.
They can silence us out of employment, but...
I think this entire channel is just an elaborate suicide note.
But, you know, I don't have a rebuttal to that, so I'm just going to keep on saying but. Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, because it's your favorite thing, lol.
Anyways, Joe Biden, BTS. Let's play the clip now, alright? Probably should play that in the beginning.
God, this is such a mess of a re-recording.
It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. Welcome to the White House. Come on up here. This is an important month here in America. A lot of our Asian American friends have been subject to real discrimination. Hate only hides. When good people talk about it and say how bad it is, it goes down. So thank you.
We want to say thank you sincerely for your decision, such as signing the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law. So we just want to be a little help, and we truly appreciate the White House and the government's trying to find solutions.
People care a lot about what you say, and what you're doing is good for all people. It's not just your great talent. It's the message you're communicating. It matters.
Watching that video, I think like Biden is just trying to reach out to that like younger audience, obviously, and try to appeal to them so they can forget about the high gas prices, the everything going up in price, and it's just so it's a sort of smart tactic, but I think a lot of people are seeing through it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all know one of the best ways to not experience any of the harsh realities of your failed presidency is to deflect it with something more positive, like, I don't know, a band in a different country with almost 40 million followers on Twitter. So,
which, of course, you know, it kind of seems like Joe Biden's only move is deflect. Like, you know, he's like a Pokemon, but his only move is defense. His only move is deflect, because at the end of the day, he doesn't actually have a real defense for any of his actions, because he barely even knows where he is and what he's doing.
Yeah, I think that's the issue with all this, but, you know, you guys could tell us otherwise in the comments below. We'll know.
And I mean, keep in mind, you would be wrong, because we are always right, but,
yeah,
you know.
Because how could we be wrong?
How could we ever be wrong about anything? But, you know, feel free to be wrong. You know, we would gladly read all of your horrible comments and then remove them for hate speech. But, you know, it's Wait, what am I saying? Hate speech? Oh my god, what have we become? Blah, blah, blah. Alright, next topic.
Blah, 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 yeah. Funny Lamau. Next topic. Alright, Elon Musk.
SoL episode speedrun 90%.
Yeah. Elon Musk, boys.
Yep.
Elon Musk. He did the funny on Pride Day.
I love Elon so much.
Like, in a sexual way?
Okay, I will say, alright?
Yeah.
This is a normal meme. You could even say an average meme. Like, this is, like, iFunny tier, right? But here's the thing. Elon Musk posting this is just a special kind of fun. Because, at the end of the day, most people in his position, with his kind of money, with his kind of power, with his kind of influence, he would want to say as little as possible to protect his brand, to protect his image, and frankly, that's all to an extent understandable. But Elon Musk either doesn't care or knows on some level that people will respect him more if he acts like a person. And while his account has plenty of, sort of corporate posts, right? Like, of course, I have to laugh. Tesla scores 100 out of 100 for 7th year in a row for LGBTQ equality, right? Whatever. But then, alongside that, he's just posting memes. And it's cool. Because it's like, he's like a person. And he's, not afraid of, like, constantly keeping a certain amount of distance or separation between him in reality and the person he, puts out. And that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to see that one of the most powerful people on the planet is down to earth.
Yeah.
So,
which, is ironic considering he keeps talking about how much he wants to leave Earth. But, that's what.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. Sonny, got any thoughts about the Elon?
I do feel like it's very good to have, like, your natural self to be put on the platform, even though he's putting himself in jeopardy. I bet his HR team is like, what the fuck? Why the fuck did you post that? Because, like, gay month. And it's very much clowning on the corporations, taking advantage of the gays and, like, just marketing them. Like, for example, the NFL already changed, like, minutes when it hit 12, they changed their logo to the gay one from last year. So realistically, they're just taking all, like, trying to get as much money from the gays, which is, I mean, a good marketing move. But I don't know. I like that we can see his natural self, even though he owns Twitter, so he can basically ban anyone who disagrees with him. Yeah, my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of the gay in Elon Musk's tweets.
Although, actually, hold on. I do want to say one more thing about Elon. That's a great transition. We can keep it, but I just want to say one more thing. Is that it's about the whole, like, banning thing. I don't know. To me, it's just it shows how committed he is to his virtues and his principles. That ever since he's owned Twitter, things have either stayed the same or gotten better. Like, it's not perfect. There's still a lot of problems, but, like, seriously, Elon Musk has, made it an effort to, show himself that he's, transparent, that he's, a person, he's being honest and authentic. And then, of course, he doesn't turn around and make the website worse behind all of our backs. Because he could very easily do that, but he doesn't. It's cool. Alright, yeah, that's it. Fuck, I kind of realized I totally ruined the transition. Try and salvage.
Speaking of the gay in Elon Musk's tweet that we mentioned 5 minutes ago, Pridefall. Alright, Chow, get into it.
What? Oh, fuck. Okay, I guess this is where we're going here. Alright, so, as you know, it is Gay Day. But more importantly, it is Gay Month, a.k.a. Pride Month, alright? It happens every month. it's been happening like this for a little while now. You know the shtick. I know the shtick. By the time you're seeing this, it'll probably be like, what, day 4, day 5, knowing how our editor is, right? So, you already know what's up. You don't need me to tell you. But what you might be a little more interested to hear about is, especially if you are part of, the LGBT community, right? Like yours truly, right? You might have, and just, by the way, I just want to clarify, I am LGBT, but I am not part of the community. You guys can fuck off. But, I do want to give it this warning, because even if I disagree with your politics and your ideology, I don't think anyone deserves to be attacked like this, and this is super fucked up. So, now we get to talk about Pridefall, which I'm not even sure if it's happening this year. I believe it happened in the past, and it has the potential to happen again. So, but I closed Discord.
Oh no.
Okay, no, it's fine. We're still rolling. All right.
All right.
So Pridefall, right, is a cyber attack that happens, I believe sometime during Pride Month. I believe the last time it happened, it was on the first day, right? And it's supposed to happen on every social media platform, or not everyone literally, but most of them, with a special emphasis on Discord. Because, I mean, it's pretty easy to, manipulate trust and things on Discord. It's how it is. So, essentially, here's how it works. People will try to send you friend requests, and then those people will be, agents of, the Pridefall attack, and then they'll either try to steal your information. This can be through IP grabber links, or it can be, through, social manipulation, or, ultimate elite hacking. And any way that it happens, they're going to get you information, and then they're probably going to dox you with that information, right? They're going to make it public, and they're going to send it to, around, and then they're probably also going to send it to the dark web. So that's basically these guys and gals, but probably mostly guys, are going to spend their day making sure your day is as shit as possible, because they are adamantly anti-LGBT, or at the very least, they are adamantly anti-pride, which, I mean, I understand, but this is a little extra. They're gonna send you, in addition to the IP grabber links and such, we're looking at, NSFW content, pretty standard, but then you got shit like gore and racial slurs. And keep in mind, these are not friends. These are just, strangers sending you this to fuck with your head. And that would be bad enough, but then they have to send, live leak videos of LGBT people being raped and murdered. At least that's the general consensus. It's basically hearsay, but I just wanted to put the warning out here just in case. If this is real, Jesus Christ. First of all, put all your accounts, put them on lockdown, enable 2FA, don't accept random friend requests or DMs from people you don't know, and just generally, keep your guard up for Pride Month. It sucks that we have to do this, because, I mean, kind of thought that we were over that as a society, but, when you get into the anti-LGBT, anti-pride thing, it can be very easy to make a good enough excuse to do some pretty horrible shit. So just keep yourself safe. I don't want anyone getting doxxed or traumatized or fucking murdered. Worst case scenario, something like that. Just keep yourself safe. That's it. What do you guys think about Pridefall?
I think it is horrific. It is horrible in every conceivable way possible, in any thresholds, anywhere. Obviously, you should not be targeting any people. You should not be, let alone posting images or videos or whatever it is of people getting raped whether it be of gay people or just straight people.
Don't forget murdered.
Or murdered, but yeah,
You know,
it's all bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure murdered is worse, but they're both bad.
They're really, I mean, they're very close in my opinion. Like they're neck and neck. You know, it's hard to say which is bad or which is worse. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to get into the rape versus murder discussion necessarily, but I just want to like make my point on this. If you get raped, that's fucking horrible. If you get murdered, you're not alive. Like,
I mean,
you don't get to overcome that. You become dust.
What about the afterlife?
Exactly. Come on.
Some people will join Lil Nas X, strip dancing for the devil, and some people will join the gates of heaven.
Oh, that is too funny.
That's gonna be a short. Oh man, you know we're so funny, right, guys? Ooh.
No.
The afterlife. Oh, that's funny. You're funny.
Oh man.
That is. Oh boy.
Everyone wants to join Lil Nas X, right?
In hell? I don't think anyone wants to join him in hell.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but
don't speak for me.
You strip teased the devil though, like he humped him and whatever.
Like
doesn't mean what?
Bro, Lil Nas X in hell sounds like a fantasy. All right. And I can say that because it is Fag Month. All right? Just so we're all on the same page.
All right,
So
you guys
we're
want
on
to hear
the same
something
page.
funny? You want to hear something funny?
What?
All right, so this is I guess it's not really a breaking news story, but if you know this guy, you know this guy. So there's this guy. His name is Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson. And he is a believer in the theory of a unified Black Africa. So basically,
boy.
I'm sure we're all aware of this, but I could, clearly gloss over it.
This isn't on the script.
No, I know. I'll put this on the script.
Oh, this is juicy. Oh boy.
Okay, so at the very end, I put the Twitter link. So, Dr. Umar Johnson, this guy who believes in a unified Black Africa, right? And that theory basically contains that all white people should be subjugated out of Africa, and there should be a black coalition in Africa that dominates Africa, and some believe that dominates the world. Okay, now that we're all caught up, this guy
Wait, hold on.
was caught.
Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. Back that up.
Okay, so what's he need backing on? Let's
all of it. I blacked out.
Okay, so Dr. Umar Johnson, right? Black Africa, right? He thinks that what we need in the world is to kick all white people out of Africa, put all the black people in America, in other countries, in Africa, have it be a world dominating power. Okay, we're caught up?
Okay,
right?
Yeah, so doesn't that kind of sound like, like
Black supremacy? Yeah, just a bit.
It sounds like what white supremacists want, but for black people. Actually, it sounds a little bit worse because, the white people want, like, the white ethno state, right? But then, most, crazy, like, racist people, they're genuinely, like, most of them, if they had, like, a white ethno state, and it was, like, it was like a continent or whatever, that would probably be it. I'm sure, like, in reality, they would probably expand, but it's not, like, baked into their ideology. They all say, look, we just want a homeland for our people. You can have your own homeland, all right, and that's it. All right? I don't want any bad colored people in my country. If you get out of my country, whatever, right? We're fine. But this sounds like, so we, like, black people own Africa, and then that ethno state grows into a colonialist power and takes over the whole world and makes the whole world a black ethno state, which is essentially global white and every other race genocide.
Right. But let's look at the video clip I played. So as you could see, before you play it, Chow, we could see Dr. Umar Johnson standing next to this white woman and he's talking with this white woman. And this is the thing: Dr. Umar Johnson believes that if you are a black individual, you should not have a white girlfriend or a white wife. He believes in strictly black on black couples.
Whoa, so he doesn't like mixed race shit?
Yeah,
Damn.
he doesn't like or.
What color is this guy?
He's black, and
He's
the woman
black.
he's talking to is white. So you can play the clip now, Joe.
You got it. You got it. Oh my God. Look at it.
You know what makes it even worse?
What?
So he went in the comments section of this post that exposed him. And I'll read his reply. It says, "Yes, I was at Cherry Hill Mall today, which is the mall he was videotaped in. My iPhone crashed last night, and the closest Apple store with an available appointment today was in Jersey. As I was leaving the mall, I stopped at a kiosk to view the incense and crystals. That non-African woman is simply the vendor," and he spells African as Afrikan. So, just pointing that out there.
Are you trying to say that black people have poor education? Is that why you spelled it that way? Is that what you're trying to say?
Now, this is the thing. He could be very well, just talking to that white woman because she is the owner of that store or whatever.
Yeah, well, what I was saying was I didn't hear what he was saying.
Yeah. So, this was someone recording him on their phone, and he obviously wasn't mic'd up because he was, in the mall.
Well, yeah, because he
Going about
was,
his
he was
business.
being caught in 4K by somebody else. Of course he wasn't mic'd up.
Yeah, and then his response is, pure irony. And then what's even better is the response to his response.
No, wait, it's not what you think. This is a big misunderstanding. You've got to believe me. Listen, I am telling you, you better listen to me, SpongeBob.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
I'm gonna play that.
Here's the thing, right? I feel like with the current state of social justice, at the end of the day, if you worded it just a little bit better, you could probably get away with being an unironic black nationalist.
I mean, he is an unironic black nationalist.
No,
so...
but I mean, he wouldn't even get, scrutiny for it. It would just be perfectly socially acceptable.
I mean, the fact that he's allowed to remain on Twitter, a lot of other white nationalists are being censored. And by the way, I think they're horrible people. Let's put that out there.
But hold on. I just want to mention.
But when they're being censored, he should probably also be censored, right? Let's make this pretty fair.
I don't think that either of them should be censored, but
But if we're just going off Twitter's rules,
but it's about consistency, right?
Yes.
It's very clear that the higher ups of Twitter, because of course, even though Musk is doing his best, there is a certain remnants of the old power structure still there, and of course there's the automated stuff, and the fact that Musk can't be based all the time, right? At the end of the day, Twitter striving towards being more of a free speech platform than it used to be, it's still going to be pretty restrictive when it comes to that kind of messaging, because it can easily be construed as calling for violence, and if you're a white nationalist or you're a black nationalist, right, how do you get your ethno-state, right? You're either kicking people out or you're killing them. That's just how it is. Or I guess you would be sterilizing them and then waiting 100 years, but that's just, it's just slow genocide, fast genocide. It's all the same shit, So at the end of the day, if you're gonna be, essentially if you're gonna advocate for that kind of fascist idea, right? But it's okay because it's for black people instead of white people, and black people are the oppressed class instead of the oppressor class. At that point, you gotta ask yourself, where's the consistency? And this reminds me of I forgot who it was, but she was based as fuck. It was do you know about Sarah Zhang?
I do not.
I say that, but I barely even remember what her whole deal was about. This was years ago. I think she was one of the editors or directors of, I don't know, it's one of those websites that like pretend they're the arbiter of journalism, but it's actually just really shit. I think it was the New York Times.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Sarah Zhang really, really hates white people and is very adamant about how much she hates white people. And then, this girl, I want to say on TikTok or Twitter, I think it was Twitter, basically she took everything that Sarah Zhang said, but replaced white with black or Jewish. And she got taken off of Twitter. And Sarah Zhang is still on Twitter.
Yeah, that is...
Like, it's word for word. Oh, and by the way, one of those things that she said about white people was that because white people have a genetic disposition for being, out of the sun because they don't have enough melanin, white people were like basically made to live underground as like goblin people. I don't that's not like a direct quote, but like seriously, what the fuck?
Or Sonny, what do you think about the situation at hand?
Yeah, I hate white people too. You see.
But the question is, do you hate white people specifically?
I hate all people.
Exactly.
Equally.
I'm telling you, equal opportunity racism, bro. That's the solution. That's the solution to so many problems. It is. It just is. If everybody is allowed to be racist to everybody else, then nobody is. Problem solved. It's the ultimate anti-centrist solution, really.
You solved racism.
No, but the question is, what do you think about him getting caught in 4K, Sonny?
The black guy that got caught in 4K with the white chick, or
yeah.
What? Honestly, find it kind of funny, because man's legit saying you shouldn't be with a white girl. You should only be with black people. I'm like, that's kind of racist. First of all,
that's very racist.
I mean, it's from a black person, so like everything what they say is not racist. Apparently, I just kind of find it kind of funny. That's it.
It's ironic. It's
it is ironically amusing. I would definitely agree with that. It's kind of like, the Schadenfreude when, like a white, like supremacist, like racist, goes on about how like inferior black people are, and then like a well-kept like black executive who's like making crazy money just comes up to him and just like it's pure irony. It is saturated irony. If you spun irony in a centrifuge and you extracted what was out of it, what was left, that's what you would get.
Indeed.
Wow, we really derailed the podcast with this episode. Multiple times. I'm hoping this is at least partially coherent for you guys.
Probably not.
Probably not. So let me do a non-coherent transition. Nancy Pelosi. That's the transition. And now we get to talk about Nancy Pelosi. So
Nancy Pelosi, my favorite.
Yeah, your favorite 80-year-old most powerful person in Congress that doesn't have to abide by normal rules that other people have to abide by. Yeah, that woman. But anyways, Nancy Pelosi's husband was arrested for DUI, I think a couple of days ago at this point. And so the whole story goes, Paul Pelosi, which is Nancy Pelosi's husband, he was driving on an interstate highway in his 2021 Porsche late Saturday when he was involved in a collision, and that collision was supposedly due to his BAC levels being too high. BAC meaning blood alcohol content. And it was so bad that he was arrested for having a BAC level above 0.08, which is the legal maximum in California, and allegedly for causing this crash, being the fault in this crash. Now, the actual California Highway Patrol report didn't say who was at fault, but he was also arrested for being at fault for the crash, so it's kind of confusing, but not really. And the interesting part about this whole situation was the fact that Paul Pelosi, a guy who was worth, by conservative estimates, $120 million, only got bail set at $5,000. $5,000.
Bruh.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to say that the system is totally corrupt here, because I don't know the circumstance. Maybe, I don't know law like that. Maybe nowadays, having a DUI, which I think is it a felony? I think it is. Maybe now it's reduced, and people that are charged with DUI get lower bail. But if that is not the case, and he got $5,000 bail because he is very influential, that is kind of fucked up. Like, actually really fucked up. And what makes this even worse, okay? Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband, who got arrested for DUI, he was involved in a car wreck where he was driving, and he killed his own brother in the car wreck. So he was going too fast on a turn, and the car spun out, flipped, did a cartwheel, and allegedly his brother was wearing a neck brace, and that neck brace was pinned by the car, and it's basically killed him. So it just goes to show that, even when you have this type of record, even when you are blatantly violating the law, even when you're worth these hundreds of millions of dollars, you'll be still set free without a high bail. And up to this day, as I'm aware, there is no mugshot of Paul Pelosi, which is kind of suspicious. And that's the whole story, in a nutshell.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Like that's my only response, is just bruh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even... It kind of sucks that we're at this point in our political system, but, this is where we are. Speaking of the political system, I think we're done with that topic, right, guys?
Wait, what?
Are we done with the topic?
Oh yeah, but about the DUI. Wait, did we mention about the point that statistically drunk drivers actually kill more people than legal gun owners? And
Indeed.
Nancy Pelosi is actively pro-gun control and is advocating for, those common sense gun restrictions and the like, quote-unquote common sense.
Ironically, people who are drunk kill more people. Her husband is part of that the statistic because he was drunk driving. That kills more people than legal gun owners, which Nancy Pelosi is trying to pass through some gun restrictions, which is kind of ironic. So yes, indeed.
You know who else is passing a gun restriction, but in a different country?
An objectively worse country.
Way worse country.
I know what I said. I know what I said.
Time to invade the North, boys. Canada.
Please. What?
Oh, I didn't say it. I mean, I did say it, but you didn't say it.
Canada needs some freedom. That's all I'm going to say.
It needs a lot of freedom.
It has no freedom right now. We need to fix that.
And the point, and you might be asking, why does Canada need freedom? I mean, yeah, the COVID restrictions are kind of bad, and yeah, you don't really have free speech if you misgender someone.
And yeah, Justin Trudeau is a limp dick tyrant,
And yeah, maybe he's related to Fidel Castro because his mother was in Cuba around the same time he was conceived, but no one's really going to talk about it because why should we talk about it?
I mean, it certainly showed up in his behavior.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder if it's nature or nurture.
Exactly. That you might be asking, how does that all point to him being a tyrant? Well, let's show this clip.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns.
Oh, I should probably explain the clip. In this clip, Justin Trudeau says it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada.
As a libertarian.
Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad.
Okay, here's the thing, right? it's bad enough in the U.S., right? It's bad enough in the U.S. because, you know, you have, like, the mainstream media calling semi-automatic weapons fully automatic and, you know, calling any gun that is even remotely scarier than, like, a Glock, you know, calling them assault weapons and calling them banned. It's like, you don't need assault weapons to protect yourself. That's just overkill. That's when you want to go on mass killings, right? But then you got Canada, who's on, like, a whole new level where it's like, okay, so now forget the rifles. We're just gonna freeze the ability for the common citizen to buy handguns at all. So, like, yeah, also deal with it, bucko, because the Second Amendment don't exist for us, bitches. It's like, on one hand, I want America to take over Canada because it means that, like, you know, we get more territory and we get more land, and, you know, America,
and the liberation of people,
and the liberation of the brain dead Canadians. But on the other hand, do we really want the Canadians as a part of our country? Do we really want them taking more of their brain dead policies and that mixing with the already very brain dead American, like, hyper left, post woke, you know, post Marxists, you know, so many postmodern, post-Marxist, you know, like, that kind of group melding with the Canadian version? It's like fucking COVID Delta mixing with COVID Omicron to make Delta Cron, which actually is a real thing, but, you know, not in the news cycle. Whoops. But yeah, so I guess all of that is to say, you know, maybe Canada can keep Canada. You know, maybe that would be cool if we just, like, left them to do their own thing. Honestly, at that point, it's just, yeah, I do want to liberate the Canadian people, but on the other hand, you kind of reap what you sow, you know.
Yeah.
Canada's a fucking mess. I've always said that in terms of, like, you know, woke policies across the West, the EU is the worst. No, sorry. Australia is the worst. Right? Because, like, especially during COVID, Australia is really bad. Then it's the EU close behind with their brain dead policies, right? Then after that, I would say it's probably Canada, and then Britain, and then the US. So in that scale, we are the least corrupted. And we need to stay that way. Because Australia is starting to go straight up, like, not yet tyrannical, but it's very close. It is very, very close. And I know that Justin Trudeau wants to do the same thing to Canada. We cannot let that shit happen to America. Alright? You know, maybe you agree with certain progressive policies. You know, fine. Whatever. But seriously, this is overkill. We cannot let we cannot let that kind of, like, you know, hand over fist tyranny like, spread to America. It's already started. We can't let it finish, because when it finishes, the Second and the First Amendments, all of the amendments really that gives us our, you know, our rights, are probably going to either dissolve or become irrelevant. And I'm just saying this here right now because it's kind of relevant to the topic. Usually the guns are the first things to go. I'm just saying. If you can't defend yourself, you're just kind of at their mercy. I'm just saying. What do you guys think about the rampant spread of wokeness across the West?
It's bad, and we should do everything we can to prevent it, but there's increasingly little that we can do to prevent it, so...
Based. Okay, how about you, Sunny Hawkeye?
I think it's bad, and, like, we all love guns here, don't we? You know, we love shooting them. We love holding them.
I just
Using
love
guns in games.
I just love having the human right to be able to have them. That's my biggest thing.
I think they're going at it the wrong way. I think instead of banning the gun, they should ban the people, right? They should ban the type of people who would use it to harm others in a negative way, right? Which is always harming. Like, for example, people who, certain people can't drive, right? People are blind. Obviously, they can't drive. I think they should take a similar approach, right? People with certain mental illnesses should not be able to hold a gun. I really don't like how they're banning the gun, not the people. That's my take on that.
All right, fair enough. For me personally, I feel like the solution is, it's a solution that sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually very effective, and it's been proven to be very effective, is just give people more guns, not less. Like, when more people have, more guns, they're able to, better effectively defend themselves. And at some point, if somebody wants to, stir up some shit and, commit an atrocity, with a firearm, if everybody else has firearms, it's a little hard to. Now, maybe that, opens the door for more crazies to get their hands on weapons, but it also ensures that it's going to be harder for them to actually be able to go through with the violence, because people won't just be defenseless or, dependent on a police force. They will be able to defend themselves. But, hey, that's just me. Cool. Okay, so...
Cool.
All right, so... speaking
shootings,
of...
guns.
No, hold on.
Oh, that.
We're doing acquitted first.
We are? I thought we were doing the guns, because guns.
I know, but trust me, all right? We tried to shoehorn it in at the end. It didn't sound right. We'll touch the heavier stuff after this, all right? Okay, so... Speaking of self-defense, let's talk about acquitted, all right? It was a big deal about a month ago. Obviously we were a little late to that party, but we're here now. This is when it matters. It's gay month. Let's talk about acquitted. So, it's basically so the whole premise is that it is essentially a political shitpost. There is a game behind it, and you can pick it up on Steam for $8, right? There is an actual game, but at the end of the day, it is really just an elaborate shitpost. For the game part, it's kind of mid. It's like this, this top-down, wave survival, fast-paced zombie shooter. I'm taking that that last part just straight from the Steam page. It calls itself a hack and slash, but it's pretty much exclusively guns, and the gimmick, right? The shit posting nature of it is that it's essentially Kyle Rittenhouse the game. Now, it does not advertise itself as such, because obviously that would be in very bad taste. But it's pretty obvious that, the guy who this entire game is based around is Kyle Rittenhouse, right? So, you've just been acquitted for, murdering assaulters in self-defense, and then, the game takes place right outside the courtroom, where there's the mob of these zombies, right? And they're all designed to look like feminists or progressives or soy boys or just general, straw man stereotypes of what leftists look like. They're carrying the Antifa flag, they have dyed hair. It's all a very basic idea. It's not a very high IQ game, but it doesn't have to be. I'll just say this right now. As a game, it's kind of mid. I haven't played it, but I've seen gameplay of it. It's like a Flash game, but it's being hosted on Steam. As a game, it's mediocre. But as a shitpost, it is fucking glorious. Not because it glorifies the situation with Kyle Rittenhouse, but because it is one of the only prevalent examples of a right-wing political video game that has gotten successful in the, not in the mainstream, but, bigger than just, the small sort of echo chamber circles that it would have been developed in. Like, this was news for a couple of days. Yeah, so there are other games like this with a left-wing slant. Like, a notable example is Tonight We Riot, which is very obviously very pro-socialist, anti-capitalist, you get all the buzzwords. I'm now opening the floor to you guys to say if you have any comments about it. But before I do that, I just want to make one thing very clear. Acquitted costs $8, and Tonight We Riot costs $10. And Tonight We Riot is specifically anti-capitalist. So, I don't know, I found that kind of funny.
So this is my take.
It's 15! It's $15! Fucking hell. Okay, go, I'm sorry.
This is my take. I mentioned this the last time we recorded the podcast, but I don't think it's necessarily an amazing idea to play Acquitted or any other game that follows the same line of thought or whatever. Because I don't think we should be putting, although I do think Kyle Rittenhouse was unfairly treated by the media, I don't think we should be glorifying his situation, because at the end of the day, what happened that day was a tragedy. People died. And yes, Kyle Rittenhouse was falsely accused of murder, but we should definitely not be glorifying it. And that's my take.
I mean, my take on the whole game thing, like I said last time, it's neat. It's just a game. It's another zombie shooter game. It's nothing really special. I guess it's right wing, but at the same time, okay. And politics and games, in my opinion, shouldn't mix. So I don't know. It's neat, but on the political side, it's like whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So essentially you guys just completely antithetical to both of my points. Alright, cool.
I mean, I find it amusing, but I don't think we should be glorifying it.
I'm mostly kidding. Yeah, I agree. It was a tragedy, not a comedy, but I don't know. If you look at it from a little bit more of an ironic point of view, it is generally pretty amusing. Just because I know that leftists would absolutely froth at the mouth over this game's existence, whereas, the reaction to Tonight We Riot was, pretty celebratory for, a short while from the lefty crowd, and just kind of a, defeated groan from the right-wingers. So, because it's so normalized. Essentially, I'm praising this game for being counterculture. That's what this is. Other than that, it's just kind of mid. But it fights against progressivism, so it's cool in my book. That is not a rule. That is just how I particularly feel about this one example. Please do not take that out of context. I know you will anyway. All right, now.
Now, what's the next topic?
Speaking of shootings.
Oh, that was a bad transition.
It's very right. Let's make another transition.
Okay.
Speaking of tragedies, all right.
There we go. Speaking of tragedies.
I will let you guys take this one because
Why?
No.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll take the bullet. Right.
No, whoa, you're the one wanting to take the bullet. Okay. Well, we know someone who don't want to take the bullet in this situation.
I don't want to talk about this again. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, all right. We do Sons of Liberty not because we want to, but because we
need to.
Have to. This is our dedication to the world. This is our gift. Take it or leave it.
That's why I'm playing Minecraft while recording.
Oh, cool. You're paying so much attention. All right. Let's just hold my breath. So we've got 2 shootings to talk about today. One of them is we've got significantly more, data on than the other. Was a little more relevant in the news. Was the Uvalde shooter? I think it was called. Close enough. And then the other one was the shooting in the Tulsa medical building, which was a little more recent. It was like Sonny. How close was it?
Alright, so the one in Tulsa, Oklahoma happened actually yesterday, like hours before we recorded.
So we were talking about it the day it happened.
Yeah, so there's actually 2 shootings that
Jesus
happened
Christ.
yesterday. One in California, at a high school, Grant High School, and one person was injured, and then I don't think they caught the guy because he ran away. But yeah, and the Tulsa one, he went into the medical building, and he just went guns blazing, open fired, and killed 4 people, and then he killed himself. So, but
Jesus.
the law enforcement there said there was no known target that he was going after. So basically, it was just a psycho shooting up a medical building at Tulsa. So yeah.
So that's pretty much all the data we have on the Tulsa shooting. So now we get to talk about the other one, which is holy fuck, this one's depressing. So let's talk about cops. Police have been particularly a point of interest on the channel and in the news for the past couple of years. If everyone will remember the dark before time of June 2020, when leftists were shouting defund the police, right? And then like 3 months later, Biden was like, I'm pretty sure that was the Republicans that wanted to fund the police, or maybe it wasn't Biden, but it was like a news anchor or something. But that's sort of been the general vibe, is that police bad is like a very common sentiment among leftists. Is like, all cops are bastards, ACAB. I'm sure you've seen that before. 1312, right? Yeah. So now I'm going to present the situation that happened, and I want to give that context because this is actually what I would consider a legitimate example of police incompetence. I'm not saying defund the police, but what I am saying is, like this is a situation kind of like, what happened to George Floyd, where the cops pretty objectively fucked up. So, and we can debate the specifics later, but I want to give the overview. So, without further ado, here we fucking go. 19 children died at the hands of a deranged school shooter in Uvalde, Texas. So, at a school, right? Cops were quick to arrive on the scene, but they did nothing for like an entire hour. And during that hour, the shooter was actively, running around and shooting children. So an hour went by and nothing happened. Not nothing happened, but nothing was done about it. And at some point, parents showed up, obviously, because they were worried about their kids. And, parents started to get impatient, in my opinion, understandably, because, I mean, come on, they were just sitting there, doing nothing about it for an entire hour. And it's like, there are kids in there, and they're just waiting to die, right? So parents tried to run in and rescue their children. Some were at the gate, right, that were, very close to being rescued, but the cops went as far as to detain parents some through tasing, preventing them from helping their children, while the cops, again, did nothing for an hour. And then, Kaika, you can pull up the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clip he's talking about here, it's one parent who ran in and went to go after their child, and afterwards was detained and tased. And in my opinion, like, yeah, your child is there, your life, the person you love the most is there with the gunman. At the same time, you gotta look at the police's perspective. Yes, I do believe, like, because there were reports, allegedly, that the policemen that were there did not want to go in for because they did not want to get shot. Which, yes, is justifiable. But you have a certain standard as a police officer. You're there to protect
clarify,
and serve.
So the policemen were afraid to go in because they were afraid of getting shot.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah, allegedly. And I just want to mention for a sec, right? I do agree with Sonny here that, it's understandable, right? I don't think anyone wants to get shot. I mean, well, maybe, like, the more depressed among us, maybe. But, like, if you're, like, waking up and you're saying, I want to live and I don't want to get shot today, that's understandable, right? Even if you're a cop, right? Where I think we disagree is that I think when you sign up for being, a police officer, at the end of the day, your main goal is to protect and serve. And there's a reason why protect is 1 out of 2. Why it's protect and serve, protect first. It's because, like, your purpose as a police officer, your job is to, protect citizens from violation of their rights, particularly the right to life. Cops are supposed to be the sort of the arms of the state, which is, those arms are supposed to be ultimately in service of the people. And while I don't necessarily think that the cops were not in the service of the people necessarily, they weren't really doing their job. Or, I mean, you could argue they were maybe preparing, but I don't think it takes an hour to get ready. I think they were just, afraid to go in there. And of course, on some level, of course, that's, that's rich from, me talking. I probably wouldn't go into, a school that was being shot up, to, save anybody. I don't want to die. I don't want to get shot, right? Of course, it's really easy for me to say, just go in there, pussy. But, but it is their job at the end of the day to deal with situations like this. Kaika, do you got anything to add? I feel like I'm not really articulating this very well.
Honestly, you've said everything I would have said. I think, obviously, we don't know all the facts, right? As of right now. And what is a little concerning is, well, this is not concerning, but I think we all agree that the police, at the very least, whether you believe they were acting out of protocol or you don't believe they were acting out of protocol, they should be, at the very least, investigated, right? And that's because a lot of people died, and it looked like the police were maybe not doing their job. Maybe they were, but if they were doing their job and that was protocol, I mean, maybe something should be reformed, and that's why, protocol, that's why they should be investigated, right? So the proper changes can be implemented. But the issue I actually have here is with Joe Biden. And Joe Biden said...
Oh, here we go, of course.
Yeah, Joe Biden said that he does not plan to investigate the Uvalde police because, and I'm quoting him, he has the utmost respect for the men and women of law enforcement, which is, yes, we do respect the police, but that is a talking point. I don't know if that's appropriate in this instance, my guy. Like, the whole Blue Lives Matter, defund the police thing was kind of, I don't know, a year or two ago. So this whole appeal to try and get some conservatives on his side is not really working because conservatives also agree that the police should be investigated. Even Hassan Piker, a guy really on the left, socialist, also agrees. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, when Hassan is disagreeing with you, I don't know. That's kind of an L. Like,
it's a big L.
It's fucking Hassan. I don't know. We could get into the whole discussion of how shitty BreadTube is, but that's, I think, a video for another day.
Yeah.
Okay, but Sonny, you seem to have a different view of this than we do. I kind of want to get some more perspective on this.
So, like, as I said in the previous recording, like, these, men and women, they have to follow certain protocols, and due to the resources that we used last time, like from the sheriff, which in my opinion, a sheriff's opinion on the police officers is important, but not like a primary source due to them being a total different agency entirely. Because how it works is that the police officers are state, run, and the sheriffs are one of those federal agencies. Same with Border Patrol, same with, TSA. They're all federal. They're all run differently. They're all different protocols. They all do some things differently. Now, what I do agree with you guys is that it should be investigated, but I feel like we should also look at the protocol, because this isn't the first time police officers have taken a while to enter a building with a shooter in it. I believe something similar happened 1 or 2 years ago at ironically a school where a kid was shooting it up. Now, that's my really take on it. I'm probably the person who argues for the police the most in this channel. There's in one of the deleted VODs that it corrupted, we had a big argument on whether should we trust the police if an armed man was in the building, whether we should take our own arms and shoot the person or wait for the police. I know we had that discussion, but that's a discussion for another day. But yeah, I do think that, these men and women should have acted more speedily because their lives at stake. But at the same time, if we don't trust them, then there's no point for them being there, because how we should be built is trust. Because realistically, who else do we have to protect us? We could go privately, but then again, we wouldn't have the decisions on how they would do stuff. Like, we literally have the choice on how they run their shit, because we elect people to do so. That's pretty much my take on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very fuzzy situation, because it's a talk on other people's lives, right? So we're not really professionals in that. Yeah. Anyways, next topic. Question mark.
All right. Okay. Gavin Newsom. Okay, this is your field.
Yeah. So Gavin Newsom, he pulled a big oopsie, boys. And one woman
I don't love like how you say it. Like, he pulled a big oopsie.
He did, though.
Fine.
Anyways, so he is quadruple, he is quintuple, he is sextuple, he's 69-tuple vaxxed. He has all the vaxes and all the future vaxes that could be conceived for the next 346 years for COVID-19. And he tweeted on May 28, 2022, quote, "This AM, I tested positive for COVID-19 and am currently experiencing mild symptoms. Grateful to be vaccinated and for treatments like Paxlovid. I'm following health guidelines and will be isolating while I work remotely. Wishing everyone a safe and healthy Memorial Day weekend." This goes to show that, even though you may be the most you could be vaccinated, that won't protect you from coronavirus. And the fact that he's experiencing symptoms as a, I don't know how old is he, let's look this up, as a very old, I think he's in his 50s. He's 54 years old. As a 54-year-old man who's not obviously at, the most risk, but is definitely at risk, and he's only experiencing mild symptoms, it goes to show that COVID, although it could be a deadly virus, should not be the end-all, be-all that I feel like a lot of people want to make it out to be. So, yeah. That's just, that's the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, there was a funny tweet that I want to highlight to Gavin Newsom's. This guy said, "Thanks. This AM, I had a mild constipation, but was able to finally push it out. Grateful for coffee and to have bought a squatty potty a few years back.
What the
I'm
fuck?
off until Wednesday and plan on eating high-fat meals to prevent this from happening again." And this is a play on Gavin Newsom's words because he just copy-pasted whatever he said, but with the constipation story, which is funny.
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay.
Shit joke.
Wait,
Of course,
before
the irony of the whole thing is like, Gavin Newsom has been so zealous with the COVID restrictions, and then of course he gets COVID. So whoopsie, whoopsie doopsie.
So this is not in the script, but I found it funny. So speaking of another oopsie, George W. Bush. I'm gonna put this at the very end of the script.
I was gonna say George Bush for a second.
Okay, and George Bush, he did an oopsie because he said, quote, "The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq, of Ukraine."
The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. Iraq. Anyway.
And we all know that because of his reign in office, millions of people died in Iraq. And it's kind of funny because, if you literally just switch out Ukraine and Iraq, it totally makes sense. But the ironic part is George Bush is the guy who sent the troops into Iraq.
The fucking irony.
Anyways, that was just a small detour. I want to talk about Japan and their abortion problem.
Oh, wow. Huge total shift here. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I make the best transitions.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck abortion. Hell yeah.
Fuck abortion.
So in Japan, if you guys don't know, abortion's actually technically not legal. But Japan...
Stay
crazy. Based.
You capping, dog.
But Japan is actually inching closer to... Wait, huh?
What? Nah, dog?
I said you capping, dog.
No, abortion is not legal. Whatever. Japan is actually inching closer to approving the drug, and I assume the drug is referencing Plan B. This is from the Telegraph. And the Telegraph continues, but there is a catch. It is expected that it will only be prescribed with the consent of a woman's partner, and abortion activists are mad. And they are mad because they expect abortion to be done without the consent of anyone and at the free will of the woman, which is fucked up.
So basically, men don't need consent anymore to have sex with women? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, yeah. That's the crazy part, right? In the United States, if women want to get an abortion, in most states, if you're under 18, you don't need the permission of your parents. But if you do need the permission of your parents, you only need it from one or from a grandparent. Plus, you don't even need the permission from your partner in the United States, like, the guy that helped you conceive the child, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I noticed that same courtesy is not applied to child support, meaning, in court, if the guy wants to abort the child, but because of, financial reasons, they will still be stuck with child support for the 18 years that the child is alive.
Which, of course, I do have to, bring up that as bad as both of those predicaments are, the second one is at least a little bit more understandable because essentially, because think about it like this, right? The guy is essentially saying, I don't want to pay child support, so you need to get an abortion. I don't know.
No, but like I feel like they're both equally the same because she's like, oh well, I don't want the kid. You don't get to say, haha. You don't get to be father. All your dreams go away. Poof, gone. Baby gone. Dead now. So they're both to me the same because either way the kid dies.
Well, this is the thing, right? I just think if women are allowed to get abortions without the partner's consent, men should also not be required to pay for child support for the 18 years of the child if they want an abortion, right? In my opinion, if you want to be consistent about it, the same coin can't be applied twice here.
Right.
So,
right.
I think it's kind of hypocritical here. But, it's, women in America.
Honestly, yeah, like, the rules of the genders in America have just been, like, legally have just been completely screwed. So, honestly, there's no real sense of, gender synergy when it comes to, like, laws. Nothing's consistent. And at this point, trying to expect consistency is just, I don't know, it's wishful thinking. It should be like that, but it's not.
Exactly.
All right.
Wow, this episode is going so great, so great,
Exactly.
So high energy, yeah.
Yep.
It's so great, like doing it again.
Yeah.
What we should do is just put Chow's little in bits when we talk from the last recording.
No, we can't do that to him.
But
you know what we can do?
What?
Fuck, I was gonna make a good transition.
Did you forget the transition?
No, I remember. I'm gonna re-record this.
Okay.
But you know what we can do?
What?
We could talk about this next topic. All right. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
That transition was ass.
Thank you.
Sonny Hawkeye, take it
I got
away.
no, I got the good transition. Okay, I got this. What was the last topic? Woman? Okay.
Woman.
All right.
Speaking of woman.
Speaking of women doing woman things, guess what happened? The Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial finally ended, I believe, yesterday. And, guess what? It leaned towards Johnny Depp. Isn't that amazing?
That actually is
I know.
Pretty amazing.
So, Johnny Depp won, I believe, $10 million in cumulative, and then $5 million in punitive. But in the state of Virginia, the max amount that they can give out for punitive is $350,000. So realistically, he only gets $10 million and $10.3 million, pretty much, which is still a lot. But it's obviously not the $15 million. And Amber Heard got $2 million off of her countersuit, but obviously, 10.3 trumps 2. What's funny about it? Her attorney, when asked about if she can actually pay for the 10.3 million, he's basically like, nah, she can't afford shit. She broke, because of her lifestyle.
Lamau.
And speaking of her being broke and whack, she actually posted a tweet after the court. And King Chow, you mind reading it in the most
oppressed
woman voice you can?
I can't promise a woman voice, but
yeah, she has a deep voice,
Yeah,
should be good enough.
Okay.
She basically have a voice like Tyrone.
Oh no!
Trust me, I got this. All right. Inner theater kid, it's your time.
You should have said inner queer kid. It's your time.
No difference.
Yeah, pretty much no difference.
The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I am heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. I believe Johnny's attorneys succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech, capital F, capital S, and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the United Kingdom. I'm sad I lost this case, but I'm sadder still that I seem to have lost a right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly. Who can reply? People at Real Amber Heard. Follows or mentioned can reply.
The most ironic part of that whole thing. That's just, yeah. So horrible.
Speak freely and openly and then closes the replies. No fucking way.
You know, if there is anything larger in terms of irony in the world that does not include Dr. Umar Johnson going to that white woman, it's probably this. You know, just that last part and then the replies. So, yeah.
God, like, I feel like irony was, like, the one thing that tied all of these disparate events together, you know? Like, this entire episode has just been, like, it's just so much irony. I feel like I'm drowning in noise, you know? Like, it's so cool how I'm, like, living in a disconnected soup and nothing is real and, you know, I'm probably slowly breaking into a schizophrenic rant, and we should probably end the video before I lose it completely.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.